Alright, so imagine this. Jazz music is in its first couple years still as a recorded music. Louis Armstrong comes up to you and says, "Hey man, take a break on this one." It's 1927. There have only been a handful of guitar solos ever recorded, and you did that. An explosive and incredibly expressive solo. It was a statement to the rest of the musicians of the world that, like, the guitar, it's coming up. Because what he just did may have single-handedly just set the stage for the guitar as a soloing instrument for the next 100 years. To illustrate what I mean, let's take this exact solo, put it in a more modern context with like a 6/8 sexy blues feel. You would have for yourself B.B. King and the rest of those who study under Lonnie, and I'm not just surmising this, like B.B. King publicly praised Lonnie and is cited as one of B.B.'s greatest influences. He's quoted to say, "As my life went on and my passion for blues grew, it hurt me to see that Lonnie never got the critical acknowledgement he deserved." And then here he is 30 years later, ups and downs behind him, rare video footage captured Lonnie doing what he does best, singing his blues and ripping one hell of a guitar solo. Lonnie Johnson was a multi-instrumentalist. He was just like a true musician. He played in all kinds of genres and styles, not just the blues. But today I want to give you a few key concepts that help the blues guitar become what it is today. I want to talk about why his style of soloing is perfect for the acoustic guitar and give you a framework for this way of improvising. By the way, my name is Kyle Orla. This is my studio. Welcome. We do deep dives into the folk methods of the greats and find their relevance for people like us. Today I have a different guitar because Lonnie's got me playing way up past the 12th fret there, so I needed a guitar that could do that. The 12th fret guitar is just not going to keep up today. Luckily I had this one here all fixed up. It's a really cool old LG. I'm going to do a video about it actually because it has quite a story. I haven't done like a story video about guitars in a while, so look for that. You're going to need a guitar that can go past the 12th fret. You're going to need a pick. This is going to be a good one. Lonnie is one of my favorite guitar players, and I feel like there's just not enough out there talking about just how good he really was. Now, Lonnie Johnson's style is really hard to figure out. Because he's pulling from so many different traditions, it's really hard to pin down what he's doing. Thankfully, we have a huge collection of his work to check out. He recorded an uncountable amount of sides. And with two live videos from later in life. Now, that is later in life. He's not quite as agile on the guitar as he was in his youth, but it's really easy to see how that translates, the shapes he's using, how it translates to those earlier recordings, and in this case, his solo. So if you look at the first solo he put down and you contrast it with Too Late to Cry from his rediscovery, he starts the solos in like the exact same way. Almost all his solos start like this. You find a chord tone, so it could be the root, the third, or the fifth. In the case of Too Late to Cry, we're in the key of G. He starts on the root, way up here on the 15th fret, and he just reefs on it. And then you find a non-chord tone. In this case, it's the 9th, and you bend it out of the key completely. The guitar is doing something different now. It's not only a rhythmic instrument.
Gonna chase every man in town. You're either gonna get me in a world of trouble.
Now, when you watch Lonnie play, you may be thinking, well, what scale is he in? What scale can I steal from this? It's hard to say how he was actually thinking, of course, but I doubt he was thinking in scales, more chord forms. So you have this idea from that clip where you have a sing a line and you have a play a line. And you notice his hand, it never leaves that G chord. If you check out Another Night to Cry, not Too Late to Cry, but Another Night to Cry, he's doing the exact same thing. Sing a line, play a line, all coming out of this G shape. He has probably a million variations of the same little theme, and looking ahead at measure 9, he's doing a really similar thing where he's outlining the chord he's on. He's on a C chord. Right? It's really coming out of like an F shape. See how that's like an F shape? Grabbing the 9th. This is a shape that's very familiar to most folk guitar players. And then making it like an F minor. He's just taking that idea and playing it up here, making it sound like a C chord. And looking ahead to measure 15, you can see how he's just outlining a G chord. It's really just coming out of this G arpeggio, and he's doing little slidey licks as well, of course, but I don't think he's thinking like a G major scale. He could be, but it doesn't feel that way under my hands. Now the tune is a blues in G, and the turnaround is a simple half-step motion thing where you've got like D sharp 7 moving to D7. You can call that E flat if you wanted to, but I feel like the target really is like D7. That's what we're pulling from, so I feel like I'm just moving up to D sharp. But call it what you want. He's outlining this in his solo as well, and he's doing stuff like way ahead of his time. I mean, it's perfectly following the changes actually, because it might sound kind of weird, but you've got a D sharp 7 right here moving to D, right? The notes he's grabbing are what a jazz guitar player today might call the altered scale. He's got a flat 9 in there, and it just sounds like the altered scales sound like. It might sound kind of wrong to you because there's no chords behind him, but a jazz guitar player would see that as somebody who's playing the altered scale and following the changes. This is before any of the stuff had any kind of names, and you would just play by ear and play by what you felt. And I just think it's really easy to underwrite Lonnie Johnson as just a blues guitar player, but he was discovering these sounds before anybody, if not before, around the same time. Now, like so many of the crossover acoustic players did, later in his life, Lonnie picked up the electric guitar, but it's super evident that his playing is still fully informed by his acoustic roots. The way he holds his pick, the drive he has, the simple shapes he uses. You're watching the guitar in a moment of transition almost in real time. You can see the baton being passed off to those like B.B. King. The first chorus of the solo is fully transcribed over on the Patreon, but that's not everything. A part of this alphabetical blues series we're doing here on YouTube, Lonnie Johnson's actually on deck for the key of D. He completely transformed the way I think about the key of D on the acoustic guitar. So you can subscribe to get notified for that next. Otherwise, when it's ready, it'll just be available right there. But it might not be ready yet, depending on when you're watching. All right, have fun with this. I just got to tell you that was fun to make that song for you.